What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode number 27 of Bettin N Boozin here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I am your host, Kyle Roscoe, and what an absolutely amazing show we have for you guys tonight. We are going live to Canterbury Park for the Canterbury Derby late pick three that ends in the Canterbury Derby, which is races 6, 7, and 8, all turf, all stakes races. That's going to be an absolutely fun day. Completely live with you guys. We have the gracious permission from Canterbury Park, so thank you very much to them to show live races for you guys on this feed. So you will see us react in live time to it, and you guys will react with us live time. So I'm just extremely excited. We're going to get into it, but one thing first. I want to do two things first. Excuse me. If you are brand new here, please go below the video player and hit subscribe. We bring content to you like this every single week, nonstop. Please hit subscribe if you are brand new, and also hit the like button down below. And also, the power picks are going absolutely fire. We had 3 winners last week and a pick 5 getting out by Charlie, one of the co-hosts of Bettin N Boozin, who unfortunately is his 21st birthday. So happy birthday to Charlie, but he will not be here tonight as he's probably face first down in a ditch somewhere for his 21st birthday. But happy birthday to Charlie. And if you are brand new or you haven't subscribed yet to these power picks, go do it right now. You're missing out. Patreon.com/HHH Racing Podcast. And guys, if you guys are watching the Canterbury feed right now, they just finished race 5. It was won by the number 4 Sails in the Sunset. Gabriel Silva owns and trains, and Frank Reyes rides. So a great win to him. Actually, and if you were on the Canterbury feed, picked by your host, by your boss, Howard Kravitz. So good pick to Howard there. And we are going to get into races 6, 7, and 8, as I stated before. But to do that, I need some co-hosts. And like I said, Charlie's not here, but we got a pretty good fill-in for him, I'd say. So from the East Coast of New Jersey, Patrick Kuenzel, and from the East Coast as well, but from Maryland, Pete Visco. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Nothing much. Excited.
What's going on? Thanks for letting an old guy join the Wednesday Bettin N Boozin crew. I mean, I feel special. Hey,
that's what I mean.
I brought a cocktail.
Yep.
I didn't want to feel left out.
A little Peroni.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You got to stick with the Italian vibes.
The Italian vibes. Exactly that.
Yep.
But welcome, guys. Again, this is going to be an absolute great show. As I stated, this is all going to be live, and we're going to go over one very special part of this live podcast that includes you guys in the chat. And Pete, I'm going to actually use you as well for this, because I'm going to have you pin the comments on YouTube to the top. It's going to include the thing that they need to fill out. So I'll do that in a second. But first, I want to say hi to all our lovely viewers in here. We already got great viewership that joined in early. Stephen Vanderbrook said, "Good evening, all." Stephen, thanks so much for doing the show. Smash the like button. Again, very astute viewer in Stephen Vanderbrook. Thanks so much, Stephen, for joining the show. Trish Smith, haven't seen your name in a while. Where you been? Thanks so much, Trish. Good evening to you as well. Welcome to the show. Trish Smith says, "Love when tracks actually let you live stream." And like I said, Howard's got the ins. He got the Canterbury is again so gracious that they're allowing us to show the races so that you guys can react along with us, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So Trish, again, thanks so much for doing the show. Christine Race, happy capping, but still looking but tonight sounds fun. It is fun, and trust me, one of my big plays early in the card ended up losing, but that's the way it goes around here. But Christine, thanks so much for joining the show. Greatly appreciate it. Happy Harry, I don't think I've seen your name before, my friend. Thanks so much to you for joining the show. Cheers to you. Hopefully we get some winners today. Stephen Vanderbrook says, "Happy birthday, Charlie." And Pete's only 30. I think it might be 27, but
almost 30. In December, I'll be 30. Thanks, Trish. Thanks for recognizing that.
Absolutely. Ralph Conti, thanks so much for doing the show, man. Greatly appreciate it. Let's make some money. And Happy Harris, Charlie has gotten older since our last live stream. And we were hoping to have him on today to have his first brew as a member of the Bettin N Boozin gang. Unfortunately, he is, like I said, probably face down in a ditch somewhere. But Richard
first beer ever tonight, right? Probably first beer ever.
Of course,
yeah, I'm sure never had one before.
Never
at Ohio State. No,
no, they don't drink there.
No, they only study really hard and get the best grades is what they do over there.
Yeah.
Richard Avalar, thanks so much for doing the show, man. 1 in Vermilion running at Canterbury tonight, and he looks very tough in the Canterbury Derby. I will say that. And Ross Splacker says, "What's the chance Howard and LaDuca get into it?" Negative 69%, but we'll see how that goes. And that, guys, thanks so much for doing this show, everybody in the chat. And again, please continue to keep them coming as this, as every Bettin N Boozin show is I love to have a discussion with the chat and how they see these races. And it's going to be even better tonight because the races are going to be live on the show that we will all be handicapping with you guys up until the race. And most likely, if I had to take a guess, if I was a betting man, we'll be betting as well. So guys, thanks so much for joining the show. Greatly appreciate. We need a Royal Ascot live betting it with Bettin N Boozin. God, I would love to do a Royal Ascot live. 1, the boss didn't allow it. 2, that's early for me, Trish. No, I'm just kidding. I get it, but we all work during the week. Maybe if we can get for the next Royal Ascot meet, if we can get one on the weekends, that might definitely be a play, Trish. But appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining the show again. So, guys, like I said, we have a massive contest going on today, as well as this handicapping show, and I'm going to go over it real quick here. It is $100 hit and split Northern Stars contest for the races 6, 7, and 8. It's going to work as a pick and pray contest for us hosts, but you guys, the viewers, can get it on it as well as I bring it up now. It's just a Google form, only 2 questions, the full name for you to be entered in the contest, and then the email will be needed as well. You go on to Howard's email list for all the announcements of Bettin N Boozin and the flagship show and any other shows that would happen throughout the week. He gives it out, and also he gives out scores, power picks, and all that type of stuff on there. This is not for the power picks, but letting you know what hit on the power picks and stuff like that. So that all comes through his email list, but it will not be shared to anyone else, and definitely will not be shared on this live stream today. As you can see, this is what will pop up. I told Patrick was my guinea pig earlier today. So you'll see the timestamp of when he joined. You'll get assigned a number, and you can see his name right here. And the email is the one hidden. So you guys will not, your email will not be shown, but you guys will get assigned a number based on when you guys join in. And I will randomly assign you a team. That team consists of me, Patrick, Pete, Charlie, who's not here, and Howard, who's joining live from Canterbury Park. It's 5 teams. You got randomly assigned, and whichever team you're on, if that co-host wins, again, it worked. I'm getting too ahead of myself. If we all have, it works like a pick and pray contest. So we have the 3 horses that we picked for the contest. Whoever totaled us up the most amount of win place money by the end of the 3 races will get. If you're on that team, the host gets $50, and one of you on that team will be randomly selected to cash for a free $50 as part of this massive show that we have going on for you guys at Bettin N Boozin. Again, that's $100 hit and split, 50 to the host that wins, and 50 to one of you lucky people out there. Again, it is just a Google form. I will set this up right now. Ross, I see your comment right now. It is coming into the chat. I'm going to paste it in there, and then I'm going to have Pete pin it. This is only going to be live again until the first race. You cannot get into it after that. It is just about 20 minutes or so away, but I will show the picks after we get a bunch of people signed up here. I'm pasting the Google form in right now. So that is, I don't think it's going to show up as a hyperlink, but all you have to do is highlight it, copy and paste it into your browser. No extra stuff needed, but that is how you get into the contest. Again, you need your name and your email in there, and you will be randomly inputted into a team. So go ahead, chat, do your worst. Thanks so much again for joining the show, everybody. But as for us, we have a lot more work to do than that. This first race, which is race 6 at Canterbury Park, it is the Lady Canterbury, $75,000 going a mile on the turf for 3-year-old fillies. What used to be a full field of 10, scratched down to now a field of 7. The morning line favorite is the number 3. Wow, geez, that was rough. But she for Arlington legend Chris Block and Arlington legend Bob Lothenbach and the Lothenbach Blue. Actually, not the favorite right now, as we can actually go to the Canterbury feed. As you can see, the number 5 Regal Realm is the favorite right now at 1-1. She Can't Sing at 3-2, and the number 2 Midnight Current at 5-1. And guys, I see a bunch of people already opening up that Google sheet. So thanks again so much, guys, for joining the show and joining it on. Ross Blacker, thanks so much for the cool words, man. Appreciate it. And me and Howard were just devising on how to get the chat into this big day for Bettin N Boozin, because we've never done a live show like this before, and we've never done anything along these lines. The flagship show every now and then on Saturdays we'll do a live show for the HHH Racing Podcast, but never a direct Bettin N Boozin show. So this is just a ton of fun. Howard and I were devising ways how to get the chat involved, and that is this is how we came up with it. So again, I'm going to paste it in the form. It should have just came through right now. Oh no, wait. Howard blocked links, didn't he? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Howard blocked links on YouTube. That's so annoying.
Oh.
He told me it would be fine. Hold on, guys. I'll pick out a way of this right now.
You could type it in as not a link though, right? Because it's pretty. Is it short? How long is the link?
It's decently long. I'm gonna see if I can mess with the system here real quick, guys. But in any case, how many minutes to post do we have? Is someone looking at it?
We have 13 minutes.
13 minutes. Okay, that's enough time. So I hate that he blocks links in here. Let's see. I can tweet it out, yes, Ross, but not everyone has Twitter. Here, let me, as the HHH, can I do this? If I tweet it as that, does that work? If I tweet it as Howard?
They should be able to copy that, and that should be okay, I would think.
Yeah, I know, but it just comes down to the fact of it. They block it. There we go.
No, it works.
I can tweet it as Howard.
I could get in. Yeah, I could get in. So
I can tweet it. So that is the Google form, ladies and gentlemen, right there. I'll paste it a few times in there. So I had to tweet it as the boss, but not or put it in the chat as the boss, not as myself, because I am not allowed to, apparently. But that is the Google form, guys. Please click that link, and you guys all, again, just name and email, and we'll get you into the contest right away. But as for that fact, before we show the picks of the contest, again, our picks don't necessarily have to be our top picks, as there can be strategy involved. You don't necessarily want to pick the favorites in these types of races and stuff along those lines, even though I thought the favorite was going to be She Can't Sing, but apparently the betting public says otherwise right now. But I'm bringing up the picks right now for us three. Actually, Charlie's picks are included in this as well. As I bring it up right now, you can see our picks on the bottom of the screen. And I think I can see a man by the name of the boss, Howard Kravitz, is in the paddock for race number 6 at Canterbury Park, as I bring him on right now. Howard, welcome in, my friend.
What's up, guys? Live
What's up?
from the Canterbury Park paddock. Hope you guys are doing great. Glad we have a lot of people watching. We got the horses parading right in front of me. Let me give you guys a view here as they're coming on the screen. To me, guys, this is the key to the race in a weird way. Number one, send up success. This horse has to go. If this horse sends the number 1, you see right there, and here's the number 2, they're all looking good. If the 1 sends, that gives my top choice, the number 2, Midnight Current, a chance. Here's number 3, obviously has a big shot in this race. She Can't Sing. She's the class. And number 5 is also looking really good. There is other speed in the race, though, and the other speed is the 6, giving me the side eye, guys. Giving me the side eye. She's giving me the side eye. But anyway, that's the key. As I put myself back on screen here, to me, it's does the 1 send hard and make the 5 work, or does the 6 send hard and make the 5 work? Because if the 5 gets a comfortable trip, guys, in my opinion, she's a winner. If they go a little bit quick, it's going to set up for the 2 or the 3. The 3 is more classy, obviously. The 2, by the way, Midnight Current, was the Canterbury Park Horse of the Year of 2022. Look at her PPs if you want to show them, Kyle. I don't know if you have already. But, I mean, she was an absolute monster last year. She's a little bit slower, but she loves this course. And last thing I'll say, guys, she was not used as hard as she could. I think it sets up for her in this race. She's going to try very hard here. She just needs the right setup. Guys, that's my view from the paddock. We'll be in the winner's circle after this race, hopefully with some connections. We can't make any promises. Hopefully some jockeys, trainers, owners, or at the very least, you'll see me right by trackside talking, giving my analysis of what happened. But have a great show, guys. I'll be popping in and out. This is a beautiful place, as you can see. I'll go and flip it around one more time. Here's the paddock. It's a really nice track. It's absolutely beautiful. It is a little warm here tonight, but it is starting to cool off. So there you go, guys. There's the there's the board. You guys can see the odds. So there it is. Good luck in race number 6.
Appreciate it, Howard. Thanks so much for your in-depth analysis. Thanks again. But I mean, Howard Kravitz live at Canterbury Park, can't get much better than that, basically. And not to mention, he was on the Canterbury feed early before the races and during race 3, and he did a great job with that as well. Even though his pick didn't necessarily do too well in the race, but I'll give him a little bit of credit.
And you can find that on YouTube. They post
Correct.
the whole show,
Yeah.
so you can skip your way through it if you need to find them.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thanks again, Pete. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So now let's get into our handicapping here. As Pat, we're all around the same length, but we all have different horses on top. Pete, since you are the guest of Bettin N Boozin, technically speaking, I'm going to you first, and you have the pick of the boss himself, Howard Kravitz, going with Midnight Current, the number 2 for Joel Burnt and the other Lothenbach.
Yeah, and Howard sort of hit everything. I thought that if the 1 goes, I don't really like the 1. I'm just hoping the 1 is speed. So I'm hoping that if that horse goes, then maybe a couple other. I didn't think there was as much speed as maybe Howard does, but I think if that 1 goes, it sets it up nice. This horse, it just looked like off that last race was just sort of shaking off the cobwebs a little bit, was favored against a bunch of these, and then also had to check early in the last one. And maybe just, you're checking, you're trying to close into a slow pace, you're coming off a layoff, you get back to the old form. If this horse runs back to that old form, loves this track, like Howard said, 8 out of 8 in the money, 6 out of 8 wins, loves the distance. Burn has some pretty good on the Canterbury turf in the past 6 months, 29% wins, 62 in the money. So there's pretty much everything you like about this horse, and you're getting it at a price for once, which if you look, this horse was favored, 6, 7 out of the last 8, pretty big favorites. And now you're getting, I think last I looked, it was around 9-2, 5-1 actually now. So we're getting a price on the Canterbury Horse of the Year from last year. I kind of like those odds. Yeah,
and there's 2 things I want to touch on, Patrick, before I move on to you, is today especially, a small track like Canterbury used to work like Arlington like this, right? You have the hometown horses that have been running on this track basically their entire lives, and then you have horses that are coming over from Churchill or Ellis or Belmont or anything like that, and you got to kind of decide, where do they stand within each other. Obviously, the buyer speed figures can do that for you, but we saw it earlier where actually Joel Burnt almost had one come up, Canterbury horse come up over the top of the number 4 in race 2. I cannot remember the 4 horse's name for the life of me, but the horse was 4-5, got down there by a nose. So in a day like where you have these hometown horses on a small track with the big time invaders, you kind of got to decide, is the price right to play a horse that's playing at a small time track, or vice versa? Is the price not small enough to where it's worth playing an invader like that? So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is this Canterbury turf course has been playing pretty friendly. They talked about it on the show, the Canterbury Park show earlier. It's been very friendly to speed, at least early on in this meet. Although race number 2 did not show that type, but then the 8-1 horse, who I actually liked a little bit, Cupid's, I'm horrible with names, but the number 7 in the 4th race just absolutely dashed away from them on the lead. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is this track really has been speed friendly, although it doesn't give you the full story, but it has tended to play towards the front. That was the kind of angle I took with myself. But Patrick, I'll let you talk about the chalk. Well, the morning line chalk in this race. She Can't Sing for Chris Block, and the main Lothenbach entry in this race.
Yeah, listen, She Can't Sing faced Didier in the last out. That's a tough race in the Benson Memorial. And then, 2 back, was caught in, just a weird position, and that was on the dirt. And I don't know how much this horse really likes the dirt, has won on the dirt, but it's just been fluctuating a little bit and hasn't won since November. I just think, Block is great off the layoff and is 1-for-1 at Canterbury. And I think this horse is being bet for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, she is. And she, as Howard stated in the paddock, she's definitely the class of this race. I mean, you've seen her run at Kentucky Downs, ran well behind Campanelle and Baystorm, ran behind Didia, as you said, twice now. Second time was a little bit closer than the first time. But I mean, Bleecker Street, Gam's Mission, just to name LZ, Change of Control, just to name a few horses that you recognize off that sheet. She definitely is the class of this race. And if she's as good as she used to be last year, she's definitely looks pretty tough in this spot. But that's the question: is this horse? She hasn't won since June of 22 at Canterbury, the defending champion of this race, might I add. But it's just a matter of, is she as good as she was last year? I'm going to take a
Hey,
shot.
Kyle, real quick,
Yep.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
on that one, the only thing
for
I was a little nervous about with her being such a low price was when you look last year, she ran in the Benson 1, 89 buyer, and looked to be in really good form, then went to a grade 3 in between, then came out and still sort of held that form, because the grade 3 was probably above her head, then came back and held that form. Whereas now she ran the first race, was okay on the dirt, and then came back though 81 buyer, if you care about that, even though the time form was a little bit more positive on that race. So if you look at it that way, but maybe not being quite as sharp. And if that's what you're looking for to try and beat a horse that we thought was going to be the favorite, that could be one way to do it.
Absolutely. And you can take this horse. She Can't Sing does have tactical speed. That's one thing I do like about her.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, is she going to be able to find her way in a spot where horses might just be, I think there's a lot of horses with better upside than She Can't Sing. And at a price like 9 to 5, that's where I'm willing to look elsewhere. Although it doesn't matter, because the horses I pick are 1 to 2 anyway.
Well,
so
I was just going to say, so they must have known that who you were going to pick in advance. So they're like, we should bet this horse down. So
well,
we have to make it the favorite, or else Kyle won't really like it anymore.
That's what I was going to say. It's like they had to follow the stereotypes. They're like, oh shoot, Kyle has this one on top.
Yeah,
Have
what
to
are we
make it
gonna
the
do?
chalk.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I went with Regal Realm for the sole fact of the matter that last race at Belmont was really, really good. Granted, she did get the perfect trip in that spot, but I don't foresee a different trip in this race at Canterbury. Coming from Belmont, which I take as a upside, although it was a 1-turn race at Belmont, that doesn't scare me at all, because the 2-turn races at Gulfstream at the mile and 7.5, even though they're only for 25,000, those spoke well to me. I think she gets the same trip in this spot. And if she powers away like she did at Belmont, I think she's going to be really tough, even though she does have Arlington legend Florent Giroux, who I sometimes I want to crush his skull. But other than that, yeah, he's great. I like him a lot. But for me, she just has the most upside. She's newly turned 4. Both her races since she turned 4 have been really good, upgrading into that low 90s buyer. I think she rolls that low 90s buyer, even mid 90s maybe. But even a low 90s, I think, gets the job done here if you care anything about buyer speed figures. Obviously, as Howard said, there could be a lot of speeds where she doesn't get the trip I'm envisioning, but I like that the most of Regal Realm. And I know you guys both had the number 8, Pete. I'll let you talk about, or Patrick, I'll let you talk about the number 8, and Pete, I'll let you chime in here. You both, Patrick has the horse in 3rd. Pete, you have the horse in 2nd. It's Let's Skedaddle. The other Joel Lothenbach has 3 in this spot. This was the race where you were talking about Midnight Current, excuse me, Pete, that it was just a cold pace, and this one was just flying by them in the stretch. Patrick, what is that kind of what you saw with Let's Skedaddle?
Yeah, exactly. That was really impressive to me. And the pace wasn't all that quick. So, they ran the second quarter, it was like 25 seconds. So they were starting to slow that up a little bit. And I was impressed by that from Let's Skedaddle. And so I think, if the pace heats up in this one, Let's Skedaddle could do the same thing.
I agree. And not to mention, sorry, Pete.
No.
I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Jermaine Bridgehan, who came back from a big injury, who's now running really well at Canterbury. He's already won 4 out of 16 of his last mounts. So I want to give a shout out to my friend Jermaine, who's running really well since he came back from that injury. But Pete, is that kind of what you also saw with Let's Skedaddle?
Yeah, similar. I mean, obviously, again, loves the distance, 10 out of 12, loves Canterbury, 10 out of 10 in the money. And then again, if the one can go and then maybe She Can't Sing goes, and if for some reason the 6 goes, then maybe we get a little bit more pace than last time. And this horse just could have come back at 5 and just been better. I mean, ran again, if you look at Buyers, which is the easiest thing to look at first, just sort of upticking going into the end of last year, comes off the layoff, instead of being a little off trying to close into a slow pace, is still able to beat a bunch of good horses that are in this field. So my thought is, if someone's just better and takes another step forward, now we're talking about, I think, double digits. Last I looked, it was sitting at 9-1, but I'll take that. And then we're just looking at a horse that the best late closer in the field. So again, if we do get some pace, I'd like to see this one rolling by. And that wasn't a fluke last time. If you watch that replay, she beat them on the square. I mean, that was the horses that were in front ran solid races, and she just sort of rolled by them, which I just loved. And we talked about Joel Burnt again, and you're talking about the jock who's been on fire. So I'll take that combination on a horse that you said. I love what you talked about earlier, which is, do you like the hometown horses or do you like the invaders? Sometimes those hometowners, man, you can't sleep on them. And if they can, they know the track, the jockeys know the track, the trainers know how to get their horses ready on the track. So I like that, especially when we're getting a much better price than on the horses that she beat last time. So I'll take that.
I mean, that's the way to look at it right there. Gene G brought up Founders Day. I do see that, Ross. I'll bring it up in a sec. She just looks kind of slow, although these races at Santa Anita, I just don't know what to make of these West Coast horses coming east. We say that time and time again. And the public just being bet 35-1 now, maybe underneath for third, but it would be a pretty big step up for this horse, in my opinion, to win or you get in the money. But again, I'm going to close off they're loading into the gate for the Lady Canterbury as I'm not going to go full screen, as I want to give you all our reactions, but I'm closing off the contest now, and I will show the picks that we have after this race. But 22 entries. Thank you to everyone who entered. And again, I will randomly select you guys to a team after this race. But they are off in the Lady Canterbury Stakes. And obviously, guys, feel free to interject me as well, as I'm not Paul Allen as much as I want to be. I am not. But I mean, the 5 just didn't break. I didn't see that. If Regal,
we knew the 1 was going to go, which was good, and the 1 did go out. See what the quarter is, though.
I mean, like, She Can't Sing's up there. Medella Match, as you said, Pete, could go. She's there. I'll tell you what, I did not envision Regal Realm in the same realm as Midnight Current. I will say that to start this race. But
well, Scent of Success has shown the ability to come back to the field when on the lead. So I like that, and I like there's a little bit of pressure. I mean, I would like it better if the 6 sort of got on her neck a little bit, just to really tighten it up. And then who's that on? I can't tell who's that first off. Oh, that's the 5 sitting right off. Yeah.
So I do like what Flo brought the 5 to the outside. So I love it, and she's just going by right now. So we'll see. Wow, Jareth actually gets up the rail. Nope, no, she didn't. Did she? She didn't? Okay, now the rail opens. But okay, spoilers in the chat. What's wrong with you people? I see you right there. But Regal Realm just absolutely flying by everyone. Perfect trip from Laurent Drew. Midnight Current flying up the outside and is most gonna take second from She Can't Sing. But Regal Realm is the winner of the Lady Canterbury Stakes. Laurent Giroux, Jonathan Thomas.
I tossed it in my pick 4, so
oh man! I mean, come on, Pete, chalk.
Well, here's the thing. You know what I didn't like is that I didn't love the ride on the 2. I was expecting, you can't let the 5 get the jump. Easily. When you have a horse that's that quality, you can't let him get the jump, and the 2 had so much ground to make up.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you can. I mean, in my opinion, at least, I don't even know if you could say the 2 ran a better race. I didn't see the gallop out.
I know
but like you said, Flo just went earlier on the 5 than Harry Hernandez did on the 2, and they both ran really well. It's just a matter of the 5 being in front at the wire, basically.
And the 5 is high quality, so you're not just going to easily run down the 5. So you need to sort of stay almost in lockstep with the 5. But you were right, the 5 is a little further back than we thought. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, but Flo gave her a great ride, got her up on the outside, gave her a clear run. And Jareth went the opposite of that and tried to sneak up the inside where the one, well, God, I can never remember her name. Scent of Success tried to and just cut her off at the inside, just made her lose all her momentum. So
I mean, I guess the only thing I got right was I thought maybe the 3 wasn't as sharp still, and got that right if she was the favorite, but just didn't put the other favorite. I mean, you knew the 5. It was just the point of I toss a favorite to try and get a bit of a price. So
yep, and my plan was to put win bets on all my horses that were on top today, judging by probably not the 8th race, as the one's probably going to be 2 to 5, but all you damn people freaking making me do a bunch of stuff, and now I can't get anything, and I didn't get that one in either. But 7 to 5, I won't eat my money. But as I see Howard Kravitz coming to you live from the winner's circle. Howard, pretty good race there, my friend.
Yeah, it was sort of weirdly run, I thought, just a little bit. You got to unmute. Am I on here? You can hear me, Kyle?
Yep,
okay.
You're good.
I thought it was a little bit of weirdly run race, to be honest. I thought the 5 would be in trouble because she didn't break, but boy, she came over the top. Jareth tried to come through on the 3. I don't know if any of you guys needed the 3 or not. Got a little bit of a rough trip. And I thought Midnight Current ran well. Pete, I know that was your top pick also, along with me. She closed really well. It didn't really quite set up for her, but I thought that was a valiant run. Just to let you guys know, Florent Giroux, who won the race, is riding in the next race and has to talk to Canterbury and Fox, so we're not going to be able to get Florent after this race. And also Jonathan Thomas, the winning trainer, is not here tonight. So I don't have an interview for you guys after this race, but I guess I'm not that surprised by the result. I'm only surprised the way it happened. What were your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, we thought the 2 was the 5 just got the jump and sort of made the move quicker. And by the time we were saying you're not gonna run down that 5 if you give her 4 or 5 lengths advantage on you hitting into the stretch. But I thought the 2 was great. I think the 2, if would have made the move a little sooner, I think the 2 could have given the 5 a run for her money.
I'm trying to show in the winner's circle there. It's probably easier for me to do that with the iPad. I don't know if you guys can see the horse in the background. Yep. They just unsaddled him, but I don't know if she. There we go. Have a beverage, guys. Yep. I just did
Cheers
one. I don't know if she's better, going shorter or longer, because I thought she ran well. She was getting a little bit tired maybe at the end, or is that maybe because of the slow start, guys? Do you think she can actually go a little bit longer and be a factor in maybe like grade 3s and lower races, or was that her max today? What do you guys think?
I mean, I thought she ran really well. I mean, she showed at Belmont that she has the opportunity to run well at these bigger tracks, maybe low level, maybe listed stakes, but I mean, I don't see anything wrong with her being, maybe not longer, although she did get a slow start, maybe mile, great bottom grade 3 listed stakes, somewhere along those lines, but she's definitely a really nice mare for sure.
I mean, you're talking to Animal Kingdom, Empire Maker mare, so you figure there should be a little bit more. She ran well going a mile and a 16th, mile 70. So I mean, we're not thinking mile and an 1/8, but I mean, I could see a mile and a 16th, or just stick at the mile. I mean, my concern was whether she liked the shorter as well, but
hey guys, just want to mention that, and then I'll let you. I'll send off to you guys here for a little bit as I'll go to the paddock. A few quick things. First of all, Midnight Current is a Minnesota bred, so she won $218,000 before tonight. This is a really nice 5-year-old Minnesota bred, guys. I mean, I'd love to own her. She just collects checks, Pete and Patrick, and you got to love that. She's honest. The other thing, guys, very exciting news. I'm going to go to the paddock here for the sprint, and then I will be just inside the turf course as the race goes on. So I'll let Kyle decide how he wants to show the race. The problem is Kyle knows, and you guys know now, is that if you show my video, it's actually ahead of the actual race itself. So I don't know how you guys want to work that out, but if you want, Kyle, I can show you live video as the horses are going to be whizzing right by me. That might be fun anyway, and then you guys can switch over to the pan shot of the simulcast. I'll let you guys work that out. But I'll see you guys in about, 10 minutes or so from the paddock.
Absolutely. Thanks, Howard.
Thanks, guys.
But yeah, I mean, live commentary doesn't get any better than that, right? You see the horse in the winner's circle. But again,
Beautiful.
Regal Realm is your Lady Canterbury Victor, Midnight Current second, She Can't Sing third. And as I bring up, I'm finishing up assigning everybody their people right now.
While you do that, I was going to say we're probably lucky that Giroux wasn't able to come on the show real quick after the way you were bashing him about 40 seconds ago. So I'm not sure. Hopefully he wasn't listening, or maybe that's what he was. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, and he's like,
Actually, that's why he broke bad. He's like, I'm going to screw Kyle real quick just for bad mouthing me.
Can't screw me that hard, Flo. He did it for too long. Can't do it to me now. But no, again, Arlington legend. Can't get on him too much. But like I said, we have a fun time here.
So Patrick, did you play any of the sequences while Kyle does this? What do you have?
Yeah, so I played the all turf pick 3, but I singled She Can't Sing and never played a backup into Regal Realm. And then I played some tries with Let's Skedaddle underneath. And actually Let's Skedaddle I was watching, tried to make a run in the middle of the racetrack. Just there was nothing really.
There was nothing there. Yeah, that was disappointing. I mean, you figure it's set up. I mean, the horses were coming from off the pace a little bit, and that horse just did not fire at all.
Yeah. But Regal Realm, like we've talked about it, Regal Realm impressed me. They're definitely going to look for a some sort of listed stake.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. And that was, I mean, actually it was funny. That was her first stakes try, and she did it pretty impressively. So now, yeah, I think you go up and try and take a step forward. Plus his run, it's not like she's a local. I mean, you look at her form. She's run at Belmont, Gulfstream, Woodbine, Monmouth, everywhere. Even Keeneland way back when she ran her first maiden race. But she's run all over. She looks like she could be something. I'll be curious to see what the buyer comes back at. I assume it's probably an improvement over the last one. So she just seems to be climbing the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with you guys. I mean, the 2 ran really well. The 5 ran really well after a slow start. I mean, and the 3 ran really well too. Just couldn't get through on the inside, stopped her momentum.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go over a few chats here, guys, and then we'll go into who's on whose team, and then we'll go over the picks right after that as well. But Ross Blacker said the 2 is a nice horse. I'd agree with you. Like I said, you can argue who ran the better race, but I think it was pretty comparable between the 2. Just the 5 ended up getting the jump, as we talked about. Christine agrees with Ross. Next best thing to being there is getting Howard from the winner's circle. Absolutely. Happy Harry says great coverage. Thanks so much, Harry. Greatly appreciate it. Richard Avalar says Flo go 2 wins, 1 second so far out of 6 races. I mean, look, he's the shipping jockey in, as they say, even though Jareth is technically as well. But I mean, Florent Giroux, as much as I just bashed
sticking
him,
it to you all night.
He's a good. That's fine with me. I have him enough. That's fine with me.
At least you didn't just throw him out of every race.
Yeah, well, right. Howard said he needs 3, 4, 5 to stay alive in the pick 3 with this race. Michael Austin's also alive in all the pick 5s. He has 1, 2, 4, 5. And then Richard Avila says he has high front in the next. I'm assuming he's talking about Florent Giroux. But guys, we're doing right now is I'm bringing up who everyone has in the, and make sure to find your name, guys, because I just went through and I just did a random number generator, 1 through 5, just kept clicking it, and whatever number you got, that's the host you're assigned to. So here we go, everybody. This is everybody's picks as I make it a little bit bigger for everyone to see. There we go. Noah, Team Charlie. Dean G, Team Pete. Derek, Team Charlie. Trish Smith, Team Howard. Irene, Team Patrick. Jason Batts, Team Howard. Terry Frank, Team me. Team Kyle. Ralph Conti, Team Howard. Jeffrey Amster, Team Patrick. John Bell, Team Patrick. Christine Race, Team 2. Charlie. Sylvain, Team 3 Patrick. Ross Blackard, Pete. Stephen Vanderbrook, Pete. Harold Neal, Team Kyle. Ed Morales, Team Howard. Simon O'Neill, Team Kyle. Tom Adams, Team Pete. Stephen Vanderbrook, you put in twice. And so did Christine Race. I'm looking at you too, trying to double dip for that money. I see both of you. I respect it, although I will not honor that. But and then Barry Seagrave's Team me as well. And guys, as I move over to our picks for this race, I'll tell you what, 2 of us had the number 5 in that race. And who else would it be but the two chalk eaters themselves, me and Charlie, both got $7.60. Again, that's a $2 win and a $2 place. But again, both Pete and Howard had the number 2 Midnight Current at $3.40 to place. So Charlie and I are in the lead right now, $7.60, and Pete and Howard are tied for second with $3.40, and the main man right under me still yet to hit the board. But guys, good luck to all of you in this spot. Again, I will put that on the screen one more time for all of you to see who is on your team, as I make it a little bit smaller so everyone can be on the screen right now.
You forgot Michael at the bottom there.
Michael got in late, but I will I'll assign him one right now. He's on every show. I will honor it, even though I said I'll cut it off. But if you win, maybe a little bit of your cut's taken away for being late, Michael. But
we'll give you $49.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And he gets Team Patrick. So Team 3.
Oh, that's what you get. You get last place.
And again, I swear, I'm not cheating anybody. Team 3, random number generator. There's your number 3. But guys, again, thanks again to everybody for joining the show and joining the contest. It's been an absolute. Can I get traded? says Ralph Conti. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. He said he got Howard. He's like, can I get That's funny. That's
everybody
so
on my
funny.
team just want to get traded at this rate.
But to me, and Ross, I'll get to your comment in a sec. TF says, go Team Kyle. Absolutely. Happy Harry. Welcome to the team, my friends. Hey, tied for first. Can't go down, can't go up. Can't get worse for sure. Michael Austin says, just put in again. Don't worry, man. I got you. But TF says, boom. Ralph's, can I get traded? Can I cash out while I'm ahead? Says Happy Harry.
Yeah, this isn't FanDuel. This isn't FanDuel or DraftKings. You can't cash out just yet.
No sports books. No cash outs available in this one. But guys, good luck to everybody else. And thanks again for joining the contest. Hopefully, we can have a little bit of fun with it, even if we don't win. But and my TF says, let's do this tomorrow morning for Ascot. I would be down. You know that. But obviously, the boss has the final say. But this one is the Dark Star Turf Sprint, race number 7 on the card, going 5 furlongs on the turf. Everyone's favorite, the Smoke and Jay Special. The morning line favorite is the number 1 Artemis City Limits for Mike Maker and Jareth Loveberry, who I personally am completely against in this.
He's cold on the board too. Like, 7-2 right now.
There's a lot of people who are completely picking against him. And I think for good reason. And everyone on the panel, thanks for good reason as well. Not a single person going with the morning line favorite, number 1 Artemis City Limits. Two of us going with the number 4 High Front, and 2 of us going with the number 5 Mark of the Z. And
there you go, Patrick. Now we turn it around.
I will tell you what, Pete. I had Mark of the Z on top the entire time except an hour before the show. I switched it.
Hey, that's what you get when you're the one keying it in. You could flip it right until the last second if you need to.
Well, that's right. And I promise I didn't do it because of anybody else's picks. If I would have done it because of everyone else's picks, I probably would have kept it because it would have made me more confident. But Pete, again, as you're the guest per se, I will let you go first. Talking about Mark of the Z, Arlington legend again, E.T. Baird. Just a lot of Arlington legends tonight. I love it. But Jose Rodriguez trains and owns this 7-year-old gelding.
Yeah, and then I actually like you mentioned Baird being up. I kind of like the races that this horse seems to run better when E.T. Baird is up, which you like that sometimes. Maybe a jockey just knows how to push the right buttons on a horse. Although it's funny, I did watch one of the past races, and I was like, I didn't like the ride, and I was like, oh, I hope that wasn't Baird, and it happened to be. It was one, I forget, it might have been one from last year though. But I just think this horse is coming out of some pretty strong company. And if you look at, you look the last one, Front Run the Fed, who was a monster. I think that might have been the race where a few of us on the pod liked it. Me, Howard, and Paul. 2 back, Caravel, Bad Beat Brian. Yeah, Bad Beat Brian. Didn't he take down Smoking a couple in the last race? Unfortunately,
hey, they both set the track record. I'll take.
So
it
we don't like him. Yeah,
no,
so we don't like that horse. But still, I just like the company. And this horse came back. And again, I talk about this all the time, where came back at 7, which this one's
Yeah.
getting up there, but came back at 7 and still ran a lifetime buyer top in his last race. So still sharp, still in form, had a nice workout on June 15th. So even though it's been off for a few weeks, still seems to be in pretty good form. The trainer, Jose Rodriguez right now isn't firing as much, but you're talking about a 7-year-old where hopefully this horse is just classy, has the form. I think there's going to be, if I remember correctly, there's looks to be plenty of speed in here. So I feel like this horse can just sit off the speed. I'm hoping to get more of that 3rd or 4th or 5th trip as opposed to being in the back like it was 2 back, but that was just against much better horses. So that made more sense. So I'm looking for it off the pace a little bit, similar trip than last time.
Sorry, Pete, to cut you off, but we're going live to Howard in the paddock as the horses are getting saddled right now. Howard, what you seeing, my friend?
What's up, guys? So I'm going to go ahead and there you go. So sorry, a little bit internet issues. Let me go ahead and flip the camera. People need to see me here because we got horses that are parading here. Actually, the last one just left. Sorry, that was the 8, guys. We got on a little late there. So let me put myself back on screen and I'll just talk about what I saw. All the horses, guys, look pretty good. I didn't see anyone really overly sweating or anything going on. Like I said, it is a warm night. My top choice, guys, is Mark of the Z. I gave ET a little thumbs up, Kyle, our buddy ET Baird, looking in fine form. You guys know I do not like turf sprints in general. I need 3, 4, or 5 really badly to stay alive in the pick 5. There's so much speed in this race. I'm sure you guys talked about, but Pete, you know this especially because we've had the same issues sometimes. Every time it looks like there's a ton of speed, someone gets loose. The thing though here, Pete, is even if someone gets loose, I don't even trust them. You know what I mean? So like, it's hard to say what's going to happen here. I agree. We're all against the 1. And Kyle, I also saw, I'm a little disappointed. I cannot win the hit and split since we are the same the rest of the way. And you won the first race. But anyway, good luck to everyone's playing the hit and split. And I think my choices were 5, 4, 3 that I gave out on the tip sheet. I need one of those 3 to stay alive in the pick 5. Good luck to everyone out there. I'll see you from the track side after the race.
Thanks, Howard. Appreciate it, my friend. But I love the bugler in the background. That's amazing. That guy, if you're watching the Canterbury feed, the guy's absolutely killing it. I love it. He's like 75 years old, and he's like doing like the Louis Armstrong type stuff, and I love it. But they do a great job at Canterbury. But as Howard hit on, he also likes Mark of the Z. Patrick, I'll let you touch on as Pete was finishing up. Did you kind of see the same thing with Mark of the Z, or were you thinking it like kind of a different vein, but still obviously the same one?
No, Pete hit on it, and he brought up the workout too on June 15th, and that's what impressed me the most was because this horse is 7 years old and did run in the Shakertown, came out of it, you don't know what, and then comes into an allowance race at Keeneland, and runs a good second to front run the Fed, and then takes some time off to freshen up and works out well. So I think this horse is going to be ready to go today.
Yeah, and he's definitely showing that he sits with this caliber of horses. I showed the last allowance race because obviously Smokin' Jay was in that race, but it was a hard race. And there's a lot of horses that didn't take to the ground that day. There's a lot of horses just bunching up in the back. Obviously Jay being one of them, but Front Run the Fed came flying from all the way in the back. Mark of the Z was in the kind of in the middle, didn't necessarily know where to go. ET finally got a seam, but was just short to an absolute steamrolling Front Run the Fed. So I don't take that defeat lightly at all. And then in the Shakertown, Caravel, Bad Beat Brian were on the lead the entire time. And Arrest Me Red, Mark of the Z, and Oceanic, I believe, was the other horse that was flying late. Those 3 were in a pack. So to be in the same, company as Arrest Me Red and Oceanic flying late in a grade 2, I think that's pretty good company. So Mark of the Z is definitely the one I would have on my A line. As I said, that horse was on top for me the entire time, except for an hour before the show. But I went with the number 4 High Front. Again, not the morning line favorite, but ends up as the morning line favorite right now, which is just the way it seems to be going for me today. But this horse comes out of the same type of level as Mark of the Z, these $130,000, $106,000, $108,000 allowances. One at Keeneland, one at Churchill. Churchill, ridden by Ray Lou, ran really well. Got got a perfect trip right next to BD Valesky, who was the other horse on the front end, and just powered away and then kind of shortened up late at the end, going 5.5. I think going 5 this time. I think 5 definitely suits this horse a little bit more. And if he can sit just off the speed in a race like this, I feel like he's going to have a really good shot. Although you really haven't seen this horse close too much, except that 92,000 N1X at Belmont in May of 22. So this horse has ability to rate. We've seen, pressing off the speed, not necessarily too far back, but I think this horse has the ability to rate. And I liked it at 5-2. I don't know if I like High Front necessarily at 3-2. According to DR, projected 4-5, which would be absolutely nuts for me. But this horse has the buyer figures, just newly turned 4 this year, has a lot of upside. Third time off the 2 to 3 or the 3 to 4 year old layoff, only improving. I like High Front a lot in this spot. And Pete, Patrick, I'll leave you guys up to add on to High Front or to add on it to anyone else as well. Pete, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I like I'll High Front for me. I think you pretty much covered everything there. My concern was maybe is used to being a little bit too close, and hopefully there is a little bit of a hotter pace and is stuck in the middle of that. That's my hope. And I definitely wasn't expecting 3-2 or anywhere in that vicinity either. So I'm definitely glad that I sort of went another way on top, even though I did have this horse in second. So we weren't too far off each other. Did run the worst race of his life also without Lasix, which we talk about sometimes. It doesn't have it here, but it was also it was also against Big Invasion, asymmetric. It was a pretty good field. So it's hard to never know if it was the field or also if it was the lack of Lasix. It's hard to know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And going 7. So there were a lot of other factors there, but the 3 is the other one I kind of had my eye on, just at a little bit of a price it looks like sitting at 5 right now, mostly on dirt, but that race 3 back at 5 furlongs on the turf, that race could win this. So I look at a horse like that and I thought would be a decent price and say there's races on the page that I think can win, even though it was 18-1, but can maybe sit a little bit off.
And again, sorry, Pete, I'm cutting you off again, but Howard coming to you live from the side of the turf course. Pretty damn cool view out there, Howard.
So guys, I am inside the turf course. Let me go ahead and give you guys the view. There is the finish line, guys. I'm inside. There's the stands. I'm inside the turf course. They're going to be coming right down there. Pretty cool view, guys. Again, Kyle, you can decide what you want to do when you want to show it live, because those people at home, I'm not sure it's going to work out in terms of the timing, but I'll leave it up to you guys. But this is sort of a cool view. I'll get closer. Here's the finish line right here, guys. Who do we want? Who's going to cross this baby first? What do we think?
We want you to go run up the stretch, and then when they hit the lane, then you run down with them. Then you run down with them and see if you can beat any of them.
Guys. Hold on. Are we ready? Ready? Here we go. Woo! I just crossed the wire.
There's the math.
I just can't see it. I just won. Okay.
Yep. That's right. Do it while the horses are coming and block the mirror for us.
I think that was like an 8 buyer figure.
That would not be a good idea. Anyway, it is a pretty cool view, guys, to be inside here. During Derby weekend, I had a chance to be on the turf and the dirt course, which was amazing. But you don't get to see this view very often, guys. I'm just going to go right up to the rail here. Again, we're right on the rail here, obviously. I will say the grass is very thick. It's very dry here. It hasn't rained for a while, like in Chicago, Kyle. But the grass is pretty lush, and what I mean by that is just it's thick. They have it a pretty deep. How do I say it? I don't know, number of inches of blades. So anyway, I screwed up that, but you guys know what I mean. It's not like a putting green. It's more like thicker rough, like US Open thicker rough, but it's very dry. So Kyle, should I take a wedge out and see what I can do? Or
go ahead. US Open type rough. Go ahead. Take a swig out of there. Let me know how it goes.
So I guess production in the middle of the show, Kyle, how do you want to handle this? Completely up to you.
So honestly, I think we can sacrifice a little bit timing wise. I think it's just a cool view to have these horses literally run in front of you. So I can keep you on for now, or I can take you off until the race starts, whichever one you want. But we're gonna finish up talking about the race right now.
Okay, so it's completely up to you. I'm not gonna be this close to the
Yeah, stay right there.
To the rail.
High five
when
as
the
they
race
go by.
happens. I'm gonna be a little further back, but I'll be about right here, guys. I think I'm gonna be okay about right here, and we'll see them come down the stretch. So I'll just leave the on. You can just put myself or my view on screen, whatever you want, Kyle. I won't say. You'll be able to see who wins. Obviously, I'll get them as they cross the wire.
Absolutely. And apparently, Howard, according to B. Keen, you are on the track feed, so don't do anything stupid.
Oh, right now I'm on the track feed? Okay.
Not right now, but you were before,
Oh,
apparently.
you mean while I was filming with you guys?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully they got that cross the wire.
Stupid, like run across the finish line like
Yeah.
I won?
I hope it was on the track feed. I really do. But I'll take you off right now, Howard, and I'll put you on before the race, but we're going to finish up right now.
No problem.
All right. Be right back. All right, guys, real quick. They're going to the gate right now. So, Pete, I'll let you finish up on the 3, and I'll let you talk about the 2, Patrick. Then we'll go to the race.
No, I think I was good. Somebody in the chat did like the 3 as well, talking about with the cutback, which is another nice angle. So this horse definitely has the stamina because it has one going long. By the way, hey Ralph, I love the Joe Pesci and Easy Money race. These guys might be a little young for that, but you know,
I got
that's
that
us. Yeah.
But
that is all
Patrick,
us.
real quick, Minister of Soul.
Yeah, Minister of Soul, really impressive last out at beginning of June. I'm trusting Esteban Martinez, local trainer, 26% this year. Flipping the horse from dirt to turf. We'll see what this horse can do. It's going to be on or near the lead. It's going to be tough, but I'm thinking this horse might run big.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is your pick for the tournament, so hopefully it does for your sake as well. I'm going to go to my Naira Bets feed, guys. We're going to, because it's a lot closer to the actual time. Taking this off as Paul Allen screams in my ears, and they're off in the Dark Star Turf Sprint as I'm going to bring it up to Howard as soon as they go down the stretch.
That was a bad
but
bobble for the 4.
7 just absolutely, he did bobble out of the start, which is obviously very great for me as usual. Again, Florent Giroux is listening to me, and he's pulling my horses back out of the gate. But Train to Artemis on the inside, coming up on Plain Talk, the horse that I thought was really interesting,
right? Yeah, it looked like an obvious.
The Alligator Hunter
horse.
got bet down at the pole here, 7-2 on the morning line. Train to Artemis, or Artemis City Limits. I keep saying Train to Artemis. Mark of the Z's up close. The 4 is coming wide as I switch to Howard, coming down the top of the stretch as I bring him up right now. I'm gonna go full screen here. As they come down the stretch, the 4 is flying down the whale. Cut to Howard coming down the stretch. And the 4, high front, wins the Dark Star Turf Sprint. And, I mean, what can you say, guys? I mean, just absolutely massive run from from Florent Giroux. Again, he keeps holding my horse out of the gate. And he still wins. It's
he obviously has a feel for how the course is running right now and where to be. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Out
Howard,
in the middle.
How about
right
that?
in the middle.
Favorite? Yeah.
No. Well,
he's
like
talking right now, so I'll take him off right now.
Yeah, we don't need to listen to that garbage.
But I'll put us on the screen as the go down through.
It looked like was that the 7 who held for second too? That was a pretty impressive hold there because looked like everybody was going by, and I think the 7 held for second.
Oh my God! And high bet market as he got bet down to the favorite, 2-1. Oh my gosh! And Pete, I need to just put my bets in right away. Honestly, at this point, my picks are coming through, and I'm not having them, which is
4 got off to an awful start too. This 4 ran huge.
Yeah, I mean, the 7 did hold 4-7-3 or 4-7-5-3.
Yeah, the 3 and the 5 were hugely disappointing because they both made winning moves, or at least coming into the lane, and then neither one of them did anything. Oh, the 3, Ralph said the 3 killed the 5. I didn't know.
There was something there. I didn't think it was that bad, but there was something there.
Noah Megger, thanks so much for joining the show, man. I hope Kyle and Charlie have different horses in the next. Otherwise, we got a problem. I'll tell you what, we do, Noah, but it depends on how much this 4 pays now that he went up to 2-1 at the line, but or out of the gate, excuse me, because we'll see. I'll show you guys the picks in a little bit.
If we would have known that favorites were going to win all the races, I wouldn't even have entered this contest because I know then that Kyle's a lock. So I mean, there's nothing to do there.
Oh man, it's hey Pete. What can I say, man?
Hey,
You
if
know?
they count, it all counts the same, man. It all
And
counts
yeah,
the same.
and Charles B, I did see your comment earlier about the 7. Good call, as that 7 ran pretty big as well. Granted, got it pace alone, but still, I mean, Constantino Roman, Arlington legend Constantino Roman on top. But Howard, thumbs up if you can hear me. He's getting everything ready, so I'll wait in a
Yeah,
sec.
that 2, Patrick. The 2 was the one who we were hoping would go out and run with the 7, and the 2
Doesn't like the turf.
It just didn't trade. It was funny because I did have a stat too that Martinez was 0 for 9 in the money, so he can't even hit the board dirt to turf in sprint races, which is what threw me completely off the 2 just for that reason.
And the funny thing is, to Michael Austin and to your guys' point, I'm picking these horses, thinking they're going to be like, mid-level second choice, maybe like 3-1, somewhere around there. And these horses are going off the favorites. So
It knows. They always know. All the bettors know.
That's right. You know what I call them, Pete? The bunch of knowers.
They're like, we can't let Kyle hit a decent priced horse. It would go against the, it might cause the apocalypse or something. So we figure we got to bet them down.
Anytime Kyle wins on a high level horse, the world has a chance to end, and it hasn't happened yet, but it might happen soon.
And when high level, we mean 3-1, 7-2. We're not talking about, we're not talking about double digits.
Not talking about double digits, but yeah. And Ralph Conti brings up a good point. I didn't see anything down the stretch, but the 5 beat the 3, so the 5 won't object. Which makes obviously the most sense. But I mean, you can argue whether the 5 would get up for second at that rate, but no, just it
cost me some tournament money.
That's right.
By not getting the place.
I mean, Tom Espinoza brings up the point of the odds fluctuations, which makes sense when you're talking about like smaller tracks like this, right? Where you have these bigger money days at these smaller pool tracks. So you get a lot more odds fluctuation at the end. But I can't say anything more because, High Front, like we said, broke slow and still came flying over the top. And Jonathan Thomas, man, I want to talk about a hot trainer right now. Jonathan Thomas is it, as he has had a good he had a good meet in Kentucky, and now he's having a good meet everywhere. So all his horses are going. I'm going to put Howard on the screen right now as he's in the paddock with High Front. It's a pretty good view, Howard, out there, no?
Yeah, I know. It's great. That's a great view.
Yeah,
right
horse's
there.
ass. Perfect.
There's Flo jumping off. Yeah, that was a very impressive ride. That was a track record time, by the way, guys. Track record time, 54-4. They went 21.36. They went 43.06. There's Flo. Congratulations, Flo. Great job. There you go. Florent Drew, guys, the winner with High Front. Now he's going to talk to Paul DeDuca. Guys, we're going to try to get Flo. I think that's his last mount of the night. Is that correct, guys?
Let me check right now.
Check
Anyone in the chat want to confirm?
Check the next 2. I think that's his last mount.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah. I believe so, because he's off the scratch of the
That's right. Yeah, he had the 4, right?
Storm. Yeah.
That's right. So, Howard, it looks like yes. So you might be
all right. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to do my best to see if we can get Florent here on camera just for a minute. It was hard for me to see the race, guys. So he was like mid-pack and then swooped around. Is that about right?
Yeah, he broke probably 2 lengths slow of everybody else. I don't
know
if he
2 lengths slow?
Yeah, I don't know if he stumbled or what, but then just absolutely came mid-pack and swooping around the turn.
You got to ask him, Howard, if the middle of the the course is the place to be, because that's where he seems to be taking his horses, and they're rolling.
I will ask him that. I have a feeling he's going to say it's just the flow of the race, but I'll ask him, guys.
You never know.
If we have a chance, no guarantees, everyone at home. But he's right now talking to Paul DeDuca. We've got Kevin Gorg. Let me show you guys the scene. It's pretty cool here. Here's Kevin Gorg interviewing Winning Connections. So anyway, it's a really cool view here. Obviously, you guys can see there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on. But keep me on camera here, Kyle. We'll try to get Flo. That would be pretty cool. First time ever on the show. If we could talk to a winning jockey live after the race, we'll do the best we can here. I'm just using my phone, guys, because The iPad had a little bit shaky. Internet, the phone is much better. So we'll see what happens here, guys, in a minute.
Yep, absolutely.
If you guys go ahead and talk, and if you see, leave me on camera. Leave me on the screen though, Kyle. And if you see me with Flo, obviously, then let me interview him.
Yeah, no kidding, absolutely. So, do you want me to take you off, or do you want me to leave you on?
Should I weigh myself, by the way?
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
think so.
Yeah, no kidding. But so do you want me to take you off real quick, or do you want me to leave you on like the screen right now?
I think you could take them off and just
Okay.
keep an eye on it.
I'll take you off, Howard. Real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Do whatever you guys want.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I'll keep my eye on it though.
Okay.
Nice job, Charles B. in the chat, by the way. Hit that 20 times. I paid beautiful. Nice work, Charles.
Absolutely. I mean, he touted it before the race too. Anyone that was paying attention in the chat, and I actually, and it just comes down to it where, I mean, I don't know if that's just jockeying, but I think the horse is just way better.
Yeah,
in that regard. But so as of right now, Team Charlie's sitting really good right now.
Team Kuenzel is OUT.
Team Kuenzel is OUT, unfortunately. But Charlie and I had the same picks for the first two, but we have opposite picks in the last. Let's see, and no one else had anything in that race. So I had 5-4-3. Charlie has 5-4-1. So Charlie has the favorite in the last race, and I have the number 3, which I believe, without giving too many spoilers, is Pete's top pick.
Yeah, you're screwing me there. I was counting on you to have the 1 in this race. So you.
So actually, Howard has the 3 as well. But those are your picks right now going into the last race. Team Kyle versus Team Charlie at this point into the last race.
Congratulations, Team Charlie.
Yep. Okay, there we go.
Kyle is off the favorite. So.
Yep, here we go, guys. Howard live from Canterbury Park.
All right, so we're live here with Florent Giroux. Florent, we're live here. You're watching. Florent, he's actually watching. He's watching the race. Tell me what you see, though, Florent. You came down the middle of the track. This horse broke a little bit slow. I've watched his races. He has a tendency not to break perfectly, but once he got into gear, he really has an acceleration.
Yeah, great. Actually, I was a little bit disappointed when you broke that slow, but after that, there was plenty pace. They went really fast. In front of me, super rapid fraction. I was able to tuck in and keep them cover up, and on the fence, saving all the ground. And when I decided to tip him out and start passing horses, I just kept it simple, put him outside, and he went by those horses very easily.
Did it seem like the middle of the turf course is better than the inside? Does it seem pretty fair? It is very firm, but it's also very lush and thick, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, I think it's firm, definitely, but I don't think there's any preference for the turf inside or outside.
You ride this horse? Jonathan's going to ride.
Yeah, right.
Okay, he's got it. Oh, thank you, Florent. So, guys, this is interesting. I don't know if you guys can see what happened.
Yep.
The number, you guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys can hear Florent pretty well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, guys. The reason why he had to take off, the number 2 Worthington in the next race, there's a jockey change. I'm not sure what happened to the rider of the number 2 Worthington,
It's Jared.
but a steward or someone just came up here, an agent, and just asked Florent Giroux if he can ride number 2 Worthington in the next race. And he said yes. So that's why I had to take off, guys. You saw that live in real time.
Breaking news on our show.
Breaking news on the
news,
HHH
baby.
Racing
Breaking
Podcast.
news.
Florent Giroux is going to be riding the 2 Worthington in the next race. Guys, I'll toss it to you. Florent Giroux, the winner, in a stakes record time with high front, 54 4/5.
Thanks, Howard. Appreciate it. See you in a little bit.
All right.
But I mean, that's pretty cool above all else, guys. Just seeing.
That's awesome. Can you hear? I can't hear anything.
Neither could I.
I can't. Oh, you could hear. I could hear you. We can't hear Kyle. Kyle.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
I didn't know what was happening because I was like,
Yeah.
is it me? And I'm fiddling with I was fiddling with my headphones. No, we can't hear you for some reason. All of a sudden.
Oh, that was
Nope.
Oh crap. That was interesting because my connection's been going in and out all night as I've been.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, I must be doing something wrong. So it looks like people can hear me. I assume they can hear.
Since when did I go near my damn microphone? They have a
There
little
you
fucking,
go.
I have a little button right here
Okay.
that
Oh yeah.
you
it's
muted
gone
it.
again.
But when did I touch that? Oh my God. I've been silenced. Yes, you mute Kyle. Kyle's been silenced. Kyle wins too much with chalk and they put him down. Like it's, oh my God. But
Hey,
my
we
apologies,
see,
everybody.
There might be some. We'll see if there's some late money on Worthington if people want to ride the Florangeroux train in this race.
Yeah, well, it's true. Even though I personally, as you'll see my picks, I'm against Worthington. I think he's been a little overhyped since his run last year at Churchill. But that's my fault, guys. I apologize. I don't know what. So disqualified, pretty much. I'm disqualified. But when it comes down to it, where was that comment right here? Oh, Penn State's got it. So I was touching too. HHH CAW. No, it's the free $50 contest for the viewers like yourself, Penn State Scott. Get in too late, you get nothing. So no, I'm just kidding. But Penn State Scott, thanks so much, man, for joining the show. Greatly appreciate it. Yep, I will. Howard says bring him on when he's in the paddock. He's alive to the one as a single in the pick 5. So yeah. Howard is alive in the pick 5. Michael has next race is 1-2 to the bank, 2-horse races, what he says. And he said 1-2-3. And Richard Avalon asks, we like one in Vermilion. We will get to that, Richard. Don't you worry about that. But I will give a little bit of a sneak peek. In my opinion, he seems really, really tough to beat, even though it is his first run on turf. But without further ado, guys, before Howard gets to the paddock here, we're going to go over the $100,000 the Kentucky Derby. Yes, the Kentucky Derby, everybody. Oh my God. Jeez. The Canterbury Derby. $100,000 going one
Boy, that
mile
mute button really
on
rattled
the
him.
Turf. I did. Dude, I was like, what the hell is going on right now? But again, $100,000 going 1 mile on the turf for 3-year-olds. One in Vermilion is your morning line favorite at 6-5 and looks really tough just based on numbers. The number 2 Worthington morning line second choice of 2-1. And the number 3 Golden Bandit 6-1 as your third choice coming out of a maiden win. The number 4 We Storm, in my opinion, not big scratch from pace perspective, but a big scratch from who I thought could upset a horse like One Vermilion, as there is other speed in this race. But with We Storm out, for me, there was only one way to go, and obviously we'll get everybody's thoughts on the panel, including Howard's, as I switch to the picks right now. We are all exactly the same.
Wow.
Except for one man. Mm-hmm. But I agree with Pete's pick, as you guys saw with the contest. I agree with you guys. I agree with you, Pete, that this horse is definitely very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's also you're trying to beat a horse. So at least with the 1, there was enough question marks for a horse who's now sitting at 2-5. From a class standpoint, the 1 sort of lays over the field. So I don't know. It's at the point of whether the horse will take to the turf. And if you look at Army Mule horses apparently can run on everything except synthetic. They win on everything. So yep. Army Mule has been awesome. And the only thing I had, there wasn't a lot. I had Esteban Martinez, 1 for 13 wins, 2 for 13 in the money, first-time turfs, excluding first-time starters. So if you're looking to, anything to try and beat a big chalk. But with the 3, like you said, the horse just broke his maiden. Now we're going against a horse who's been running in graded stakes. But
no kidding.
I like the run on the turf. I don't know. I just feel like you're taking a shot. And if we can get a little bit of, the only problem is This horse is tactical, can sit up close, but if the
Yep.
one just shakes away from the rail, is the
Correct.
clear speed, he's going to be hard to run down. So that's the biggest
I agree
problem
with
if you're
you.
looking for anybody coming off the pace.
I agree with you. And right now, guys, the horses are in the paddock for race number 8, the Canterbury Derby, as we go live again to the boss himself, Howard Kravitz. Howard.
Guys, most importantly, what am I alive to the one in the pick 5? Someone let me know. But anyway,
right now.
So, guys, here's One in Vermilion. Looks really good. You can see ears are pricked. He's looking at us right now. Hello, One in Vermilion. He's controlled, I would say, power right now. He looks pretty calm. He's on his toes. They all look really good. I will say 2 things that I noticed. There's the number 2, Worthington. Number 3 looks fantastic. His ears are pricked. He looks like he's ready to go. I really like the looks of the 3. And as we go to, here's the number 5. This is a Run Happy colt, by the way. The number 6 has calmed down, but I will say, guys, he was getting a little bit hot. He's calmed down now. He was getting a little bit worked up. I don't know if you can tell. He's got a shiny coat. It is warm. But of all the horses that were, I would say, getting a little bit overly excited would be the 6. So you can take that any way you want. As I walk,
a little too much caffeine, maybe. A little too much caffeine for coffee caliente.
Perhaps. Guys, as I put myself back on camera here to wrap up the paddock portion of the show here, I guess, Pete Harvey Pack, right? Never bet on a horse that's trying to do something for the first time as the favorite. That's One in Vermilion. But I don't know if you guys saw in the PPs, he did have a work over this turf course, and everyone here said he worked well. So you can take that for whatever you want. The whole race, to me, guys, depends on how much pressure the 3 puts on the 1 early. And Beskiza is really not a send guy. Kyle, you know that for sure. Yes. So I think it's just going to be 1-3 around the track. The 2 is going to sit in the pocket. Unless the 5 or 6 decide to go crazy and press, I think the 1's going to be very hard to beat. If I had to take a chance on a win bet, I suppose I would go with the 3, who is on my picks for the hit and split. But honestly, guys, the 1 is going to be very tough to catch. It's his race to lose. What's the pick 5 pay to the 1?
I'm finding it right now. I'm trying to get it. They don't have the will pay.
Someone put it in the chat. I can't see the chat.
Yep.
The Alter pick 5. I'm guessing around 450. That'd be my guess.
Well, you had the 7, the nice price in the second leg, right?
Well, the 4 in the first leg, guys, went off at 4 to 5, but took a huge amount of late money and was really more like 2 to 1 in the pick 5. So I think it might pay okay, even though it's really a glorified pick 4. I'm guessing around 450.
I will find that information for you, Howard. I'll put it in the chat.
All right.
For some
Good
reason,
luck to everyone.
Annoying.
I'll see you guys from trackside after the race. Really appreciate. I'm sure we have huge viewership tonight, guys. Really appreciate everyone watching. We'll see you trackside in a little bit.
Thanks, Howard. Appreciate it.
All right.
See you.
And we do, to Howard's point, we do have great viewership tonight. So again, thank you to everybody in the chat right now. Everyone has been great. But Benny Betts also says 6 has worked up a big sweat in the paddock. Also seeing it as right now. And Matt Miller says 444 for 50 cents. So it's about what Howard was saying, 450 mark in that area. So obviously the 1's going to be the lowest will pay, the biggest favorite in that regard. But I also thought the 3 was extremely interesting, Pete, as I go back to the PPs. I mean, this last race, we can just show real quick. This last race at Canterbury, again, it's that as I was talking about before, as I put us back on screen, it's that base home base horse versus invader horse, that type of regard. But you can see the horse you're going to look for is the number 4 Golden Bandit right here in the blue and yellow coming up the outside. I'm hoping this is what happens in this race. By any means, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, although this horse went Undertow went 22-1 for this quarter, which maybe you'll get again, but I think they're going to be a little bit smarter about that. I also think One in Vermilion's a little bit better than this horse, Undertow. As I skip to the top of the stretch here, as you can see, Barrios just goes right by this horse, like basically standing still, and you'll see as you go to the stretch, this horse just powers clear of everybody. So I mean, that would be really nice to see coming down the top of the stretch at this point in this race. But obviously, we'll see how it goes. But I also agree with you, Pete, that the number 3 is very interesting in this race. Patrick, there's not too much to talk about One in Vermilion. He's way ahead on figures than to everybody else. But again, That question mark is the turf, but as Howard was talking, there's that work in 1 minute, 1 minute and 4/5 at Canterbury about a week ago.
Yeah, I just think, 1 in Vermilion, at this point doesn't have to love the turf. I just think the horse needs to just like the turf. And what I mean by that is the horse doesn't, the horse is just better than this field, in my opinion. And so if it can run an average race here, the horse should win.
I agree with you. And I mean, anywhere near that 93, granted, again, I keep saying it, but on the dirt, this horse should win this race.
It is funny though, if you look when Martinez had the horse before, wasn't great from a, even if you're just looking at it from a figure standpoint, was good, was winning races, but wasn't sort of top notch. And then goes to get trainer change, runs the 2 best races, then they switch again and runs a nice race in the last one, but at 5 cents, barely struggles to win at 5 cents with a decent pace. So maybe for some reason under Martinez, this horse doesn't reach his normal peak. And if you're trying to beat a 4 to 5 shot, you're looking for whatever angle you can to try and get ahead of him.
And I'm sorry for everybody. I don't know if you can see this. Michael Austin brings up a good point. He says Worthington wins. Look at the double payout. Did you think this is how the doubles were going to play out here?
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Look how much lower Worthington is than 1 in Vermilion. Getting 1 in Vermilion on a 10 to 1 double with that horse in the last, that's where it gets really surprising to me, is when you see this type of money like this.
Well, it's funny that that Worthington, like we mentioned, since they announced Giroux, now Worthington is down to 7 to 5, which obviously in the doubles was already getting bet, but you don't know if from a win standpoint. I don't know. It might. I'm with you. I don't love the horse. I mean, but the horse looked like a better turf horse earlier in his career.
Yep.
And that last one, I think, was just disappointing enough, right? I mean, I assume that was your thought. Was that last one was just disappointing enough to say maybe this horse just isn't. He's not on his game, and but again, this is definitely a step down in class for sure. So if he can regain that 2022 form, then he's pretty tough in this field.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that he's even under the figures of the 1. Obviously the people are seeing the dirt to turf form, but this horse was shaping up to be a really nice horse. Especially after that race at Churchill where he just powered by everybody in that non-Windsor 2 lifetime. And then he goes to the Dania Beach. Candidate wires the field in that spot. Major Dude, Ocean Point, Dude in Colorado. This horse is facing really good horses, and I'm sure that's
then they screw around. They get a little Derby fever. They take the horse off the turf, and you never know what that does to them when they come back. Sometimes they don't come back from that as well as they should have if they would have just stayed doing what they're most likely meant to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Kyle.
No, you're fine. And not to mention, guess who picks up that? Remember who picks up this mount now, right?
Yeah.
Might just be right place at right time for Florent Giroux. As Jareth, again, hope everything's okay with Jareth because he's not one to usually give up his mounts like that. So
it was funny because I had Maker and Loveberry, tiny sample size, but we're 0 for 5 in the money completely on the turf as a pairing. So maybe he just booted him off and said, let me pick Giroux up because he's riding so well.
Wow, if he does that, man.
I'm just messing around.
Loveberry rides for Maker times at these smaller tracks.
Yeah.
So he's going to be, no, I know. He's going to be pissed off if that's what's going to happen. But look, this horse definitely had, again, this horse has had so much upside last year and just has not shown it to me this year. Granted, against a little bit easier spot in a lot smaller field than this horse is running, but Worthington, it's at 3. I would not play Worthington at 3 to 2. I just wouldn't. And this horse can win, but it's not going to be with my money on him.
1-3 exacta for me.
Yeah.
1-3. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all. I didn't mind that before, but always ice cold. Cold. But I don't know, man. That just seems that those double payouts were extremely up. Everyone's seeing my bets. Gosh dang it. Get me out of here.
The turf pick 3 payout, $53.80. That's not bad at all.
No,
considering I would say, right?
Well, you get the favorite last race in accordance, but it's that 7 that inputted all that value in there, right?
Yeah, and we all thought that was kind of a spread race.
Yeah, and even the 3 now is taking a little bit more money. The 3 just went to 7-2 on the board right now with 2 minutes to 2 minutes to go on the board. But I'm going to do a. Let's do this. I'm going to do an exacta 1-3, and I'm going to Dutch it the other way as well. I'm going to go 3-1, just in case. We'll do it that way. But
Well, Michael Lawson, I don't think the 3 can win. There's a comment there.
Yep.
Perfect.
3 is the best value. Peter Martini, thanks so much for joining the show. 1-5-3 says Peter. Peter's throwing the 5 in there.
Well, that's a tough one. First time on the turf. Not much to go by. I don't think. I mean, look, I
going long for the first time as well, Pete. I mean, this horse has raced 4.5, 5.5.
And Run Happy's generally not the best on turf. And I'm looking, and you get a little bit on. Actually, you get some on the dam side. There's some turf there. So hey, again, if you're looking to, I mean, you don't want to really play 1-2, obviously, or 2-1. I assume that's paying crap. I didn't check the payouts though, but
here we go, guys. They're loading in the gate for the Canterbury Derby, $100,000 going 1 mile on the turf. As I go put us on screen with the race, they are all in and they are off. Pretty clean start for everybody. We're going to have to be pushed, though, as is the 1 Vermilion with the number 3 sitting just to the outside of him. Although he's going to, Jesus.
Wow.
He only came over like 8 passes in the beginning of that.
Get him inside. Yeah, get him in.
But I mean, realistically,
he's going to be tough, right? To run down if he gets a nice. See what
look at the late money. Look at the late money. The 1 is 8-5. The 2 went off as a favorite, as we thought by the doubles, but the number 1's 8-5. The 3 got bet down to 2-1 at the end there. So in that regard, you go nowheres, right? But Matt Miller says late money changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, as I just stated, that's insane. And you see they're trying to back it down a little bit. You see them all bunching up. 23 flat for the opening quarter.
What you like if you have the 1, you'd like them to kick away a little bit here and not give them a chance to get
47-2. Jeez. Oh, and the 3's going to challenge now.
See, that's what the 3 did in that last race, but now he's doing it against a better horse, but maybe he's just going to run right by again. This is what he did in the last race that you showed the replay. Don't start clapping, Kyle.
No, it's just what I wanted to see at the top. Clears him.
And
there you go. They kick for home. And the 3 is opening
this is
the
up exact same race. This is
hold on, 1. Come on, 1. Hold on.
And for Team Kyle, ladies and gentlemen, we take it home. Oh, maybe not.
Oh,
No, we're good. Okay. Jesus Christ. So 3-1-2.
Nice.
I can't believe it, Kyle. Nice hit, Patrick. I can't believe you didn't go with the favorite. I would have come from behind in the players pool here, or whatever we're calling it.
Golden Bandit wins the Canterbury Derby, 100 million second. Worthington. I mean, can you say disappointing third? I mean, 100 million, you got to be disappointed with a second there. In that
and especially because the fractions were he was not cutting strong fractions.
I mean,
but
23 flat to, I did almost mush my horse. Noah, be quiet. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. But it just, like, in that regard, it just seems so easy. Like when that horse gets out and then runs a 24-2 second quarter, is able to back it down. But the 3 just, I mean, realistically, the 3 went by like he was standing still almost. Like there was no, and I mean, I would honestly say, and there goes Patrick lag, but I would say that's probably due to the turf course P, because you can see then he power passed him after the wire. I think the 1's better dirt horse. They tried something here. Maybe they found a good spot in this regard, which I would argue it is a good spot, but just didn't fire.
I mean, maybe just this 3 horse is just good. And this is another one where it took them how many races did he run? It took them 7 races to figure out that maybe the turf was best for this horse. And now this horse is pretty strong. I mean, again, we're not talking about this horse being a graded stakes winner or anything, but this looks like a pretty nice turf horse. Yeah.
I mean, Biskitza with a great ride, able to pull back at the end there, or at the beginning, excuse me. 3-1 exacta is 1960, says Jeffrey Amster. 3-2 is only paying 1040. Wow, that money is almost like, I call it nowhere money, quote unquote, right? Where you see all this money getting piled on. Yeah. The 2 went off as the favorite, and the win pool was heavily favored in the double pool. And the 3, I mean, the 3 just much the best in that race.
Right, you see on the bottom of the screen there the cold triple that I didn't play, obviously, but had it on the. It looks good on the screen at least, if nothing else. So
actually, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you had the triple, Pete. What's wrong with you, man? That's gonna. I mean, that's third, second, first choice over. So
I mean, I've never claimed to be the smartest in the world, so it wouldn't be the first time that something like that happened. So
no, I mean, look. I agree with you, Christine. Turning for home, the 3-2, that's what signifies to me a horse like the 1 just didn't like the ground, because the 1 showed that he powered back at the end. He stayed on. He didn't necessarily like drop anchor by any means, but the 3 went by him, and the 1 just didn't really fire when he was asked upon.
And also the 2 really had no excuse, and maybe the 2's just not as. And what we thought about the 2 was actually sort of confirmed in that race, I think, because everyone behind them were just way outclassed.
Yeah.
So the 2, I think, got third more on class than anything else, but just didn't. I mean, had a nice rail trip, right? I didn't notice any trouble.
Yep,
so
I agree
don't
with
think
you.
so.
But real quick, Pete, we're going live to Howard. Howard is in the winner's circle. He's got a really good view of these jockeys coming in, and ultimately Golden Bandit. Howard.
What's up, guys? So, disaster for me from a betting standpoint, but congratulations to everyone at Golden Bandit. That's one of the benefits of being in the paddock. Let me go ahead, and I mentioned before that I thought he looked really good. To me, the story is twofold. Number one, the Golden Bandit, by the way, he set a stakes record, 134.41. Granted, the turf is very firm. Congratulations to them and the connections. I thought Beskiza pushed the button the right time, but clearly, guys, 1 Vermilion was a little bit. He was almost like jumping the turf course. At the start of the race, just never looked settled. Didn't handle the turns. Again, and was bet like he was shaky, guys. It only went off at 8-5.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the double payout?
Golden Bandit got really bet down hard at 2-1 at the end. So although that didn't selfishly work out for me with my pick 5 and pick 3, congratulations to anyone that had a Golden Bandit. 1 Vermilion, strangely enough, guys, like never looked good at any part of the race, even when he had the lead. To me, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I said it just never really got going. Like you said, nothing on the turns or anything. But as you can see right there in Howard's point of view, the number 3, the winner of the Canterbury Derby, Golden Bandit, about to come into the winner's circle right now. I mean, just can't get any better than that, my friend.
No,
that is
good angle.
Live
good
coverage
angle right there. Yep.
But I mean, I agree with Howard. I didn't necessarily notice the jumping, but he never, like I said to you, Pete, he never looked settled. Like when asked upon, he never really got going. And finally, once he got into stride, maybe towards like the 8th pole, just after the 8th pole, he finally kicked it into gear, but just not really ever going.
Yep. I mean, yeah, exactly. And what we didn't think was the 3 would be able to range up on him like that, like he did in the maiden race, and he was able to do that, which, I mean, that's impressive. You like a horse that gets up on a horse's neck like that. You like that. Yep. You like to see that.
And then just goes by him.
Take their heart. Yeah.
Yep.
Because we were saying, if the 1 gets away, then sometimes you do it the other way. You take the horse chasing you's heart, but the 3 did that perfectly.
Hey guys, can I interrupt a second? Can you hear me?
Go for it. Yep.
So after, hopefully we're going to talk to Adam Beskiza here, hopefully after the race. And then I've got a few very interesting things I want to say about the last race, and perhaps something special we can do here at the track before we go off air. So stay tuned, guys. Go ahead and keep talking, and if I get Beskiza on, you guys will see me standing next to him. Hopefully we can talk to him.
Yep, I will absolutely bring you on. But Howard, again, thanks for the coverage, man. Greatly appreciate it.
Nope.
But so we're going to take Howard off for now. Hopefully he's able to secure that interview. We used to call, I guess if I could, maybe I'll say it. It doesn't matter. When we used to at Arlington, we used to call him Beshizzle my nizzle. So I hope Beshizzle gets on a little bit of Snoop Dogg talk for you, but I hope he's able to get him, because he's a really good guy. Like Howard said in the paddock, that I know that he's not really a Sen guy. He rides a lot of horses for Kelsey, which is one of the main trainers for obviously trains Smokin' Jay, Otago, and all those horses.
Crownsway.
Yeah, for Crownsway. So Beskiza is her go-to rider, and he's a really good guy. So I'm hoping that we can get him on. But just some comments real quick, Pete, to go over. I mean, And you can see TF says the email newsletter had the turf pick 3. The turf pick 3 paid 59 to the 1, but paid higher to the 3. I'm sure it probably paid over 100 would be my guess.
Yeah.
So congratulations to anyone that paid, but congratulations to you, TF, because I know you did. Thanks so much for getting the being part of the power picks and cashing on that turf pick 3, man. Congratulations.
Definitely.
But Happy Harry says the 1 was not settling. I agree with you. As we talked about, Michael Austin 2 is far back. 3 was best horse. I agree. Matt Miller talking about value in the double pool, 2-1 to win, but 9-1 with the favorite in the last race. That's what I try to preach on this show is the belt. I still think the double's the best bet in horse racing. And obviously that comes from Matt Miller, Howard. Everyone's completely changed my betting perspective in the last year and a half. It's just been mind blowing. And I agree that the double is just the best bet.
Especially if there's one of the horses that you really like, but you don't want to bet it because of the odds.
Right.
But if you can get it in the double, like you're saying, if you can get it, instead of paying 6, it pays whatever that was. I forgot the number, but whatever that was, it's paying. You're getting value, and you're talking about a horse in the last race who looks pretty strong on paper. I mean, I don't like the favorite in the last one necessarily, but I think that's a good way to look at it. And even sometimes, I know I've done this before, where you look at a race and you go, the 2 best horses I like are in back-to-back races, and you forget to bet a double with it. Or even like a pick 3, if you're like, I have 2 strong opinions, let me use them in as many ways as possible. And I think that's where we sometimes mess up, is you don't use them in take advantage of the opinions in as many ways as you possibly can.
And that's the best betting advice I've ever been given is if you're going to have 2 big opinions or you have your biggest opinion of the day, you better hit that opinion hard because that's the one that's going to get you paid. So I still screw that up because you get so wrapped up in the other races instead of just saying, you know what, this is the one. That's like the degenerate side. I come from where you were sitting at the track and you're looking at the screens and you're going, I'm going to bet whatever race is next, instead of being someone who just says, I'm here to just cash in on the best opinion I have of the day. All right. And when you got, this race ended at Canterbury. Oh, what's next over at Penn
what's that? Whatever. Yeah. There's 2 minutes to whatever. There's 0 minutes to Assen boy. I can never pronounce that track, but
Assiniboia.
We'll just call it Ass for now. But that's what I would be like. Let me speed cap that race real quick. So definitely not the best betting strategy for anyone listening who's a little newer to the game.
Well, that's true. But like I said, that's the best thing that I've ever been told is that whatever your best opinion is, that better be the one you cash big on, because if you can't cash big on your best opinion, where are you going to cash big? So
and that double, I saw somebody said that double paid $29.20 with the horse who, you know, and those were, you had 4-3 in the tournament picks, right? You didn't you had them.
I had the 1 on top in my picks normally, but the 3 just presented better value in the tournament.
Yeah.
But just a few more comments here. Benny Betts, thanks so much for joining the show, man. I don't think I've seen your name before on my show necessarily, but thanks so much, Benny, for joining the show. 3, much the best. Completely agree. Racing Down Win says, nice try, Pete. But,
thanks, RDW.
Jeffrey Amster 3-1 exact. I went over that already. That's it actually paid $9.60 for the dollar exacta. So I got back 90.60 and a little bit, and Howard like $80 on my win bet. I've had 30 to win and a $10 exacta. So
in which one?
In that one.
In that one? Oh, you did have that horse to win? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Fantastic.
Well, I bet it at 7-2. At 2-1, it's a little less fun.
Well, the good thing is you were being sensible when you bet it, and then even though it went down, you probably wouldn't have done it at 2, maybe.
That's true.
You benefited by.
I probably would have bet the one at 8-5, realistically speaking.
Yes, then you'd be pissed.
That's right. Turning home nailed the 3-2 exacta. I agree. Like I said, just it's fun. Finally found his footing. Just a little too late. But Charles B says no late kick today. I agree. Derek Poyer says this is a blast. Thanks, fellas. Thanks, Derek, for joining the show, man. Greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
And who again? I'll go after that later. But apparently the triple paid $13.50 for $1. So Pete, you're not necessarily missing out on too much there.
Yeah. I mean, if you have it for 10, I would take it.
Well,
but,
so would
if
we,
you played
right?
it cold like that, yeah.
Trish Smith says great job, guys. Thanks, Trish. Greatly appreciate it. Tom Espinoza, the 1 looked good until the 3/8. Not sure if he got tired at the surface of the turn, as Howard talked about it, thinking it's more the surface. But okay, Howard's saying, come on right now, bringing him on right now, my friend. Yes, sir.
So we had Bashiza guys, but you didn't see me, so we don't have them now. So anyway, we were hoping to talk to Adam Beskiza, but you guys didn't see me trying to bring him on. So anyway, that's okay. He was talking to people on track here. Said the horse just felt great underneath him, and they weren't sure if he could go by 1 Vermilion, but he sort of felt like he had a measure the entire way. He was really confident with him, and he was moving like a winner, so to speak. So congratulations to the connections. Cody Rosine, the trainer, also said that they were pretty confident that he just ran so well last time. They've found a new home for him on the turf, and he was just outstanding. So we'll see what this horse can do. Obviously, it wasn't a very deep field. We were correct about the 2. Worthington had absolutely no excuses at all and just isn't going on. But last thing I'll say, guys, before I go here, and we really appreciate everyone watching. First of all, I really like the 8 in the last race as a price. I'm looking right now, 7-1, one last time, closing from the clouds. Take a look at the works of the 8 in the last race here. Has a bullet work in the holster and looks very interesting to me. I know the 6 is going to be a heavy favorite, but I have a feeling the 8 is coming around. He might be closer to the pace, or excuse me, she, right? She might be close to the pace. She might be closer to the pace than she's been. And I'm very interested in Artistic Vision, the number 8. I believe I see was that 8-1 morning line, guys. Is that correct?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
The other thing is, I don't know if you guys know, Kyle, don't get too excited about this. There is a casino here, and I have a phone. Maybe before people leave, we can see us play a few hands of a Hold'em before we get off there. What do you think? What do you guys think?
You better run then, my friend, because we're deep already. You better run to that Hold'em table.
Pete, we'll just use Kyle's salary, which is about what 100. Yeah. We'll just bet $100 bet, and then just that's it, all in.
That sounds right. All in. Yeah, just do a number. Yeah, just do a number.
Put it on black, Kyle. Kyle's a craps guy. I don't play craps.
Yeah, I'm a craps guy. That's true.
Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys end the show. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you really appreciate this. If you continue to support the show, we can continue to go on the road and do things like this. But we do need your help with Power Picks and any other way that you can help us out, subscribing and etc. to the YouTube channel, just in every other way. So we really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the live coverage. Who won the hit and split? Do we know yet?
I did.
Kyle, you did? And then who was the winning? Do we know the winning player?
Nope, not yet, but I'm getting there right now.
All right. Well, Kyle, congratulations, man. Your $50, as they say, is in the mail.
Yes, that's put it on black. No, I was kidding.
So anyway, it was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy as you close out the show. Take care. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. 7:30.
7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern. Because we're trying to go a little bit before the NBA draft. 7:30 Eastern, flagship show covering what the hell are we calling Ohio
Derby. Thistledown. Yep.
All right, guys.
Howard, one person wants to know: are we doing this tomorrow morning for Ascot?
Get on a plane. Get on a late flight. Get on a late flight.
If you want to do it, Kyle, go ahead.
There we go. See, we got.
Is it American Rascal? Is American Rascal rolling tomorrow? Right in the Norfolk.
I think so.
Monster Ward.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Bet the house on American Rascal, everyone, and save a little money for the 8 in the last race.
There you go.
Bye, guys.
Howard.
Thank you. Take care,
Howard. Later.
But I mean, it's just a ton of fun. We give him a lot of crap, but just a ton of fun. And that's host fail on my part. I missed that. I didn't see him, but I guess he was motioning to me. That's a host fail. Yeah, he's nodding his head in the frick. He's gonna punch me later. He's already doing it, but it's okay.
You don't live in the state anymore.
I fucked up. Yeah, that's right. I moved away for that reason. It's just a ton of fun, Pete. And like I said, thanks so much to you for joining.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you for having me.
This is not your first time on Bettin N Boozin, but
hopefully not the last.
And definitely not the last either.
I could always fill in when one of the youngsters can't go if need be.
I mean, you're more than welcome at any time. You know that. But right now, guys, congratulations to myself, because I'm going to do that. I'm giving myself a pat on the back. But congratulations to Team Kyle for winning the $100 hit and split between Terry Frank, Harold Neal, Simon O'Neill, and Benny Seagraves, as I'm going to randomly select one of you guys before the show ends for the $100 hit and split. So I'm going. So again, Terry Frank, you are number 1. Harold Neal, you are number 2. Simon O'Neill, you are number 3. And Benny Seagraves, you are number 4. And again, please, if you guys win, please email me, Bettin N Boozin at gmail.com. I'll put it up on the banner right now. You'll see it scrolling around, Bettin N Boozin at gmail.com. And email me and Howard. Howard's is hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. Email both of us with your name and PayPal information, and we will get this $50 over to you again. So one more time, Terry Frank, number 1. Harold Neal, number 2. Simon O'Neill, number 3. And Benny Seagraves, number 4, as I bring up the random number generator right now. 1 through 4. And
wait.
What?
You got 3 there. You got a 3 there.
Yep. So we got to give everyone their chance. That's right.
Little drum roll or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
very
so give me
suspenseful. Can I bet this? Can you know? I mean,
there's the D-Gen and Pete. That's what I like
we need
to
to
see.
make some money back after those couple races.
That's
Let's
what
go.
I like to see. But real quick, guys, 1 through 4. 1. Terry Frank. Congratulations to Terry Frank. If you're still in the chat, you are the winner of the HHH Racing Podcast $100 hit and split Northern Stars contest. So congratulations to you. If you are still in the chat, again, please email me, Bettin N Boozin at gmail.com, and Howard hkravitzhorse at gmail.com, and you will get sent over your $50. But thank you to everybody for entering. It was an absolutely ton of fun. I mean, like I said, this is Bettin N Boozin's first time doing a show like this. The chat was amazing. The races were amazing. Realistically, they weren't very close, but they were definitely made up for the exciting factor. And Howard being on site just made it that much better. But again, thank you to Pete, the leggy, what I like to call Mr. Optimus Prime. Patrick is gone, but thank you to him as well for being here. And again, thank you to everyone out there for watching. For my co-host, Pete Visco, and my non-existent co-host, Patrick Kuenzel, this has been Kyle Roscoe in episode 27 of Bettin N Boozin here on the HHH Racing Podcast. Thanks so much, everybody. And Terry, email both of us to claim your $50 prize. Everybody else, have a good night.